So in your case, like there's really no show. Like you can't really show the work that you've put out there. You did all this great preparation and work, and it goes out there, and
out it goes.
Boom, it's done.
Right. Until somebody stops you in the street and said, "I heard what you said the other day, and here's what I think about it." Some of them agree with you,
right?
But many of them hate your guts.
There was a story that came out. Como did Seattle's Dying.
Yes.
And talking about what we see as Seattle, the part of Seattle, the behind the scenes, the homelessness and everything that's going on. What did you think about that?
It reminded me of what parts of Seattle looked like when I first moved here, and specifically Pioneer Square, which has been Skid Row since the city was founded. I think what you have now, though, is a little different from that, because what I'm hearing anyway is that this epidemic, the opioid epidemic, isn't just affecting people who were always at the bottom. It's affecting people who at one time might have had a middle-class existence, but who dropped into poverty or dropped into addiction and can't figure out a way out of it. But then the other part is the prolific offenders as we're now calling them. The people who either have mental illness or are just ornery and don't want to follow any of the rules that make the city an inviting place to live and what should be done with them.
Right.
And I think when it comes to that, you've had a situation here where out of an abundance of sympathy, unless they turn violent, we don't want to touch that kind of behavior.
Right. In your opinion, couldn't Seattle Dying be said for every metropolitan city in the United States?
I think every city has a homeless problem of some kind.
Right.
I mean, even in the Como series, they pointed to Rhode Island as a model. So I looked up and just Googled Rhode Island homelessness. Well, they have some of the same problems that we do. It's a small state. It's like 1 million people, so not as many. But they have homelessness task forces. They have nonprofit organizations trying to end homelessness. So it's still going on there as well. I just think that at some point you have to draw the line at people living in doorways, living in the street, living in tents along the freeway. And the one thing that I need to feel comfortable about is that if we forcibly remove those people, that there is a place for them to go, right?
Right.
I really feel for the merchants and for people who depend on the tourist industry, who say that we're turning into a really sloppy city. And for people who think that, Dave, this is your white privilege speaking, you've never been in this situation, it's absolutely true. I know I'm privileged. I frankly don't mind being privileged. I hope it's not at somebody else's expense. But here's what I do know. Unless you address it, people who are far more ruthless than me will pick up this issue, run on it, and the alternative will be a lot worse than anything
Now that, my friend, is true. Because what you don't want is someone who lacks empathy to come in and start to make decisions. That's 100% true. Is Seattle better today than it was 41 years ago, Dave?
From my point of view,
yes.
Yes, in terms of being an exciting, healthy, vibrant city for someone like me, it's been fantastic. I think this is a spectacular place to live, and that's why we chose it. That's why we moved all the way across the country, because I saw in this place a combination of everything anybody would want. It has worked great for me, and now it's become a major city with companies like Amazon, Boeing, Starbucks, Microsoft. I never dreamed that sleepy little town in 1978 when I came here would become this metropolis, and actually go through the growth pretty well, except for the fact that we've let the streets go to pot in some areas.
All right. Well, we've been having this conversation, and on purpose, I've just been driving around all through downtown Seattle.
Yes.
This entire time. And I got to tell you, as I'm driving through, yes, you could easily just kind of look and pick apart like, oh, I don't like that piece of dirt. But I got to tell you, it's a beautiful city, especially right now when the sun's shining. There's growth going on. There's construction. There's cranes. There's action that is constantly happening. It's not a ghost town. It's a vibrant city. And the reason why I'm going all over the neighborhood, because I'm just trying to let folks see what we see as we drive downtown Seattle. And I'm driving all over.
We have not hit gridlock yet.
KIRO
By the way,
Radio.
can I just openly marvel at how you're able to conduct a coherent conversation while driving? Because I don't think I could ever do that. Usually if somebody tries to engage me in conversation while driving, I say, well, you shut up, I'm trying to drive.
Well, you're safe and sound, Dave Ross.
I know, how about that? Who'd have thought? We got
All
through
right.
downtown Seattle and came out in one piece.